Hello everybody, I'm Vijay Krishna, working as assistant professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering of Chevrolet Junior College. Today, the lecture on single phase controlled converters or phase controlled rectifiers from the power electronics of power electronics. Controlled rectifiers. Here, for the controlled rectifiers, we discussed about the line commutated AC to DC converters. Here, phase control rectifiers or control rectifiers, or it is also called controlled converters. In the previous session, we discussed about the diode rectifiers. Now, those are the uncontrolled. Diode is nothing but an uncontrolled switch. But if you go for a controlled rectifier or controlled switch, means it should be comes under thyristor, SCR panel. Either it is a thyristor or IGBT or MOSFET, like that. How the phase control rectifier with a single phase and also three phase AC supply system and the application can be run, and what are the applications we will observe. Here if you observe, it is a line commutated converter. Line commutated converter means it is a natural commutator. Line commutated converter, or it is also called natural commutated converter. Nothing but a converter is nothing but a switch here, but it is considering line commutation. That is, the commutation is having the line commutation and also the forced commutation. Line commutation and forced commutation. Here, if you come across this line commutated converter, for the line commutated converter, here, if you come across, is also called a natural commutation. Here, if you come across the commutation, whenever the AC supply has been given with a sinusoidal waveform, whenever it should be coming towards the positive half cycle towards the zero, and again it should be coming negative half cycle. Again, it should be happening going towards the zero crossing. At this moment, the switch should be comes under turn off position. That is nothing but the line commutation. Here, shown with the diagram, AC input voltage has been applied, AC input voltage has been given, and also a line commutated converter has been placed, that is a rectifier or a converter, and the DC output voltage is to be getting. Here shown with the open circuit. That's why V naught of a DC output. AC input voltage has been given and DC output voltage has been getting. That is AC to DC converter, line commutated converter, AC to DC converter. Next one, here if you observe the type of input, that is a fixed voltage, fixed frequency AC power supply has been given. AC supply voltage is to be a fixed voltage, fixed frequency AC power supply, AC input voltage. Here, what about the output we are getting? The output is to be DC is to be a constant voltage. But here we are getting also variable DC output voltage also. Variable DC output voltage. Next, the type of commutation here used as a natural or line commutation. Natural or line commutation. Nothing but these commutation, these commutation can be considered. This commutation can be considered for natural or line commutation. Here, if you observe, we are having different number of applications. Different applications. For many, so if you go for an industrial applications, they will make use of a controllable DC power. Controllable DC power means it should be a voltage can be controlled. That is, the variable voltage can be getting. Examples of such applications are steel rolling mills, paper mills, printing presses, and textile mills. Such mills are employing the DC motor drives and traction systems, electrochemical and electrometallurgical process, magnet power supplies. and portable some hand tool drives, high voltage DC transmission. These are. Hello. Hello. వచ్చారా మీరు? రండి, రండి, పర్లేదు రండి. ఒక 1 అవర్ ఆగి వస్తారా? 1 అవర్ ఆగి రండి. 1 అవర్ ఆగి. ఆ, ఆ. ఆ, సరే ఒక పని చేయండి. అంటే నేను ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను అనమాట. ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ జరుగుతున్నాయి. ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ జరుగుతున్నాయి, అందుకని క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను. ఒక 2 డేస్ ఆగి రండి. లేకపోతే సండే రండి. సండే మార్నింగ్ ఇంటి దగ్గర ఉంటాను. సండే మార్నింగ్ వచ్చేసేయండి. ఓకే. And different types of line commutated converters, if you observe, different types. Those are AC to DC converters of which are comes under the category of phase control rectifiers, which we are discussing now is AC to DC converters, phase control rectifiers, and also we're having different types of converters of AC to AC, AC voltage controllers, and also AC to AC of output frequency, low output with change in frequency values. These two are the above two are fixed frequency converters, but here the below one is AC to AC converters is a cycloconverter which comes under the change in frequency. Frequency can be changed. These are the different types of line commutative converters. And just before going to the phase control rectifiers, here now what is meant by the differences between the diode rectifiers and phase control rectifiers you can observe. Here, diode rectifiers are referred to as uncontrolled rectifiers. We previously discussed in the session also. The diode rectifiers are referred to as uncontrolled rectifiers. The diode rectifiers gives a fixed DC output voltage. The diode rectifier gives a fixed DC output voltage. Or if you go for a phase control rectifier, there is a controllable DC voltage can be getting. That is a variable DC output voltage can be possible. Here, each diode conducts for one half cycle. Each diode conducts for one half cycle. First, you have come. The diode rectifiers are referred to as uncontrolled rectifiers. Yes, there is no controllable terminal. There is no available or controllable terminal. That's why we call it as uncontrolled rectifier. The next one, the diode rectifiers gives a fixed DC output voltage, and each diode conducts for one half cycle. Each diode conducts for one half cycle. The next one, diode conduction angle is 180 degrees or pi radians. Conduction angle is 180 degrees means if you go come across the sinusoidal waveform, for suppose uh, if you go observe that a sinusoidal waveform which starts from the 0 degree and which there it can be stopped from 5 degree, that is 180 degree, that is one positive half cycle, either it is a positive half cycle or a negative half cycle, the duration is to be 180 degrees, that is called conduction angle. Diode conduction angle is up to 180 degrees only. After 180 degrees to 360, another that diode is in off position. That comes under the negative half cycle. Okay, that is the diode conduction angle is equal to 180 degrees or pi radians. We cannot control the DC output voltage or the average DC load current in a diode rectifier circuit. This is the problem or the disadvantage while we using with diode rectifiers. Okay, diode rectifiers with uncontrolled manner. Whatever the output voltage is not a proper voltage, nothing but the quality of the voltage is to be not proper. Okay, if you go come across this single phase half wave diode rectifier, the average DC output voltage is to be single phase half wave diode rectifier gives an average DC output voltage VDC is equal to Vm by pi. This is the Vm by pi, and single phase full wave diode rectifier gives an average DC output 2 Vm by pi. It should be 2. 2 cycles can be added here. 2 Vm by pi can be getting. Next one, what are the applications of phase control rectifier? Just now we discussed that. That is a DC motor control in steel mills, paper mills, textile mills. Okay, these are employed with the DC motor drives. DC motor drives means they are running with the DC motor application as an application. Therefore, DC motors compulsory required a rectified voltage, rectified output voltage, and it is also a controllable or variable voltage. This voltage can be applied with a DC motor towards the drive, DC motor drives. That is the main important application for the industrial purpose. And next one, AC fed traction systems using this DC traction motor. Nothing but nowadays all the traction systems, all the traction system applications are running with the DC motors. There is the DC series motors only. Therefore, the DC series motors are required the rated voltage of a fixed DC voltage. Therefore, the AC availability of the AC supply can be converted into DC. Okay, using the rectifier, phase control rectifier. This is one of the important application for the phase control rectifiers in a traction system. Next one, electrochemical and electrometallurgical process and magnetic power supplies and portable hand tool drives. These are some more applications for the phase control rectifiers. Here, if you go through this, in earlier days, DC power was obtained from motor generator sets. Actually, DC power can be getting it can be got from motor generator set. A motor generator set being used. There is no phase control rectifiers. Okay, after the 1960s, 1930s, 1960s, we are getting controllable DC power. Before that, there is no controllable. After the thyristor designing, after the SCR designing, then only SCR invention, then changes in the SCRs by providing gate terminals and also anode and cathode, like that. For the high power applications also, the thyristors are used. That's why in earlier days there is no possibility of phase control rectifiers, but the power can be generated, the DC, from the motor generator sets and was converted DC power. DC power, the generated power is availability in AC is converted through using mercury arc rectifiers, or it is also called thyratons. Thyristors is the name brought from the thyratrons. Here, the invention of the thyristors has changed the art of the AC to DC conversion. Here, presently phase-controlled AC to DC converters employing thyristors are extensively used for changing constant AC input voltage to controlled DC output voltage. In industry where there is a provision of for modernization, mercury arc rectifiers and thyratrons are being replaced by the thyristors. Actually, in previous days, that is earlier days, they used that mercury arc rectifiers. Mercury arc, which are the heavy in size, and also conversion power is to be very less, power capacity is to be very less. Now, with a small size, with a small prototype of the device can be used to control the to transfer the power from AC to convert the power from AC to DC with a high capacity voltage ratings, highest voltage parameters, and also current parameters. And next, nowadays in phase control rectifiers, a thyristor is turned off as AC supply voltage reverse biases it, provided anode current has fallen to a level below the holding current. In thyristors, in SCRs, we discussed this holding current and also the latching current. Whenever there is a below the holding current, the anode current flowing towards the thyristor below the holding current means therefore the thyristor comes under the turn off category. That is, the device can be turned off, or it can be called as a commutation of a thyristor. It is called a natural or line commutation. It is called as a natural or line commutation. Whenever it happens means, for example, I will explain that if you consider a sinusoidal waveform has been applied, if you here in this diagram, if this is a sinusoidal waveform, this sinusoidal waveform consisting of one complete cycle, one positive half cycle and one negative half cycle. With respect to positive half cycle, therefore, if you use any diode here, nothing but a single diode has been placed here. Therefore, what should happen is within the converter, the diode conducts with respect. Why? Because for a positive half cycle, the voltage it will be positive, and the anode is more positive with respect to cathode. Therefore, the diode conduct, or even a thyristor also. Then if you comes under the negative half cycle, here before going towards the negative half cycle, it is crossing the zero line, zero voltage line. That's why whenever zero voltage line getting, and also it should be getting towards the reverse bias condition. Nothing but it is under forward bias for positive half cycle, for negative half cycle it is a reverse bias condition. Like that. That comes under the natural commutation or the line commutation. And this is the diode voltage rectifier. Diode rectifiers output voltage, average DC voltage, and applications we discussed. Next one, what about the classification of the phase control rectifiers? Classification of the phase control rectifiers are, we are having that two types mainly: single phase control rectifiers and also three phase control rectifier. And also under the two rectifiers, the single phase and also the two three phases, we are having another classification, that is we're having under single phase control rectifiers different types are half wave control rectifier, full wave control rectifier, and also using a center tap transformer. And third one is the fourth one is the full wave bridge circuit rectifier, and next one semi converter and full converter. These are different types of the converters or rectifiers of comes under the category of single phase controlled, single phase supply. And go through the three phase. If you come across the three phase, different types of three phase control rectifiers means we are having that half wave control rectifier, full wave control rectifier. The next one is semi converter, half controlled bridge converter, and a full converter, and is also fully controlled bridge converter. These are the different types of converters under comes under the category of three phase controlled. Okay, mostly the industrial applications are run with a three phase supply only. Single phase supply means having that less applications. In suppose if you comes under the domestic purposes, domestic applications, so we are getting the single phase AC supplies, AC to DC converters. But if it comes under the category of the three phase control rectifiers means we go the most applications are under comes under the three phase control rectifiers only. That is all the industrial applications are runs using uh, run using these three phase control rectifiers only. Next, go for the principle of phase control rectifier operation using a single phase. Now we discuss about the principle of a phase controlled using a single phase half wave thyristor converter with a resistive load. Here it is also called as a controlled converter, half wave controlled converter, half wave a controlled AC to DC converter. We are having different names: single phase half wave thyristor converter with a resistive load, or single phase half wave AC to DC converter, controlled converter with a resistive load, like that. Here, if you observe within the diagram, it is a transformer. It is a transformer. A primary winding has been connected towards the source side. A single phase supply has been connected here. Single phase supply has been connected here. And next one, the secondary is connected towards the thyristor circuit. The second one is connected towards the thyristor circuit. And with respect to the switch, this is a thyristor or a SCR. Okay, this is connected towards the resistive load, and the resistor end connection is to be connected towards the transformer. This is a complete circuit of the secondary side. Here, the primary side of the transformer is connected to the source of a voltage supply of Vs, and next one, secondary side is connected towards the resistive load. Here, Vp is the primary voltage across the transformer, and Vs is the secondary voltage of the secondary side. Here, T1 is the thyristor, and Vt1 is the voltage across the thyristor. The thyristor across is also voltage having nothing but a voltage drop across the thyristor is also considered here. Why? Because it is not an ideal one, ideal switch. It is a practical one. That's why for ideal switch there is no forward voltage drop also. There is no drop. But here we now consider that voltage drop is existed. That is thyristor T1 is having and across the voltage VT1 has been considered voltage drop, thyristor voltage, and I naught is the loop current in towards the resistive load, and across the V0 is the load output voltage. This is the output current and output voltage across the resistor. Here, the secondary side voltage Vs is equal to getting that an AC voltage Vm sin omega t. Instantaneous supply Vm V maximum sin omega t. And next, whenever if you apply the voltage, whenever if you switch on the supply, therefore, with respect to the AC supply voltage here, what should be happen? With respect to the AC voltage supply here, a sinusoidal waveform of AC supply has been applied. Therefore, with respect to the positive half cycle, the thyristor here anode is having here cathode, and this dotted is a gate terminal. This dotted is nothing but a gate terminal. Here, anode is made positive with respect to cathode. Anode is made positive with respect to cathode. Therefore, what should happen? Whenever with respect to gate terminal is also giving the switching pulse, then only the junction J2 within the thyristor or a SCR, a junction J2 is now under reverse bias condition. Whenever gate terminal is given with a supply voltage or switching pulse, therefore the reverse bias junction J2 becomes towards the forward biased condition, and the junction J1, J2, J3 becomes forward biased condition. Therefore, the thyristor turn on. Whenever this is thyristor turn on, therefore what should happen? The switch is to be in a closed position. Up to now, it is an open position. The switch is whenever it is in an open closed position. Therefore, with respect to depend upon the resistive load or the resistance in the load element. Therefore, output current will be moving into the resistive circuit or the load, and the output voltage can be applied here. How the voltage can be supply voltage and output voltage or output load current can be explained here. If you observe here, the sinusoidal voltage has been getting. This is nothing but the secondary voltage of the transformer. Vs is the secondary voltage, or it is also called a supply voltage. Okay, here Vm is the maximum value which is coming across the pi by 2, 90 degrees at 90 degrees value, and 0 degree at a 0 degree the sinusoidal waveform has been starting. The magnitude is to be that the amplitude of the waveform should be this much. Under Vm it should be coming across the 90 degrees or pi by 2 value. Here from 0 degree to 180 degree, it is under considered under positive half cycle. Okay, next it should be under negative half cycle, pi to 2 pi. Here that V1 is nothing but the thyristor voltage. Here if you consider thyristor voltage, here alpha is the firing angle, nothing but firing angle or switching pulse or firing pulse. These all are given towards these are all same firing pulse or switching pulse. Okay, these all are we are giving towards the gate terminal, nothing but for a thyristor, whenever gate terminal is given with a switching pulse or firing pulse, then only the switch is to be comes under on position, turn on position. Therefore, the alpha, nothing but the thyristor is switched on at this much degrees, alpha degree. Okay. Therefore, here, if you observe, this is the Vm value or output voltage. The output voltage starts here. Up to now, it should be zero, zero. Okay, therefore it should be starting here and it becomes towards the pi. After that, it going towards the negative half cycle. Therefore, under negative half cycle, for this thyristor doesn't conduct. Why? Because only for positive half cycle only it should be in a forward biased condition. Under negative half cycle means the polarities changes. Minus here comes and positive comes here. Therefore, the thyristor under reversed biased condition. The thyristor under reversed bias condition. Under this condition, reversed bias condition, junction J1 and J3 are reversed biased. J1, J3 are reversed biased, and J2 only forward biased. With respect to J2 forward biased, um, there is no working procedure. Nothing but there is no much difference to start the thyristor. That is, whenever only junction J1, J2, J3 are forward biased, then only the thyristors conduct or turn on. Whenever we are interchanging the positive or negative half cycle supply with respect to the negative half cycle, therefore the thyristor becomes a reverse bias condition. Under this condition, there is no voltage. That is a zero value. Pi to 2 pi is a zero. Only we are getting from alpha to pi value. That is nothing but the output voltage. Next one, what about the current value? The current value I naught is equal to V naught by R. Yes, output voltage by resistive load. What about the resistance having in the load? Therefore, here also the current is starting from the alpha and it is the same as that of the output voltage. Output load current is also output current is also same as that of the output voltage. And next, what about the thyristor voltage? What about the thyristor voltage? This is also important. The thyristor voltage with respect to the supply voltage, if you consider the thyristor voltage from alpha to pi value is under zero. Why? Because here the thyristor is under turn on position, switch on position. Whenever if any switch is switch is in a closed position, what about the voltage across the switch is to be zero. Therefore, alpha to pi is to be a zero value. That's why alpha to pi across the thyristor voltage a V1 is to be zero. But whenever it should be having the voltage waveform shown with the waveform is existed. Here from 0 to alpha the voltage is existed. From 0 to alpha the voltage is existed, but alpha to pi is not existed. It should be 0. From pi to 2 pi, yes, negative half cycle is to be having there. For negative half cycle, the thyristor doesn't conduct. Therefore, the thyristor voltage is to be this much value. This is nothing but the waveforms across the thyristor voltage, thyristor, and also the output load across the output voltage and also output current. Next one, how the equations are getting. This Vs is nothing but the supply voltage Vs of instantaneous voltage, that is AC supply voltage Vm sin omega t, and Vm is the maximum value of the input AC supply voltage, and this is nothing but the maximum value of the voltage which is getting across the pi by 2 at a pi by 2 degrees, pi by 2. Okay, Vm value, peak value or maximum value. And what about the Vs? That is nothing but Vm by root 2. Vm by root is nothing but the RMS value. AC current that consisting of the RMS value. V naught is equal to VL, that is output voltage across the load, which is an average value. Average. The resistance across the voltage, which we are getting, a V naught is nothing but the load voltage, that is the average output voltage. Here, when the thyristor is triggered or fired or giving switched, okay, these all are same meaning. The thyristor is triggered means the gate is triggered. Whenever gate is triggered or giving firing, gate is fired, a pulse is given. These all are having same meaning. When the thyristor is triggered at omega t is equal to alpha, that is shown here. Here, if you consider thyristor is triggered at alpha, triggered at alpha means how the output voltage here shown with the output voltage V naught is V naught is to be this much. Yes, under this condition, the thyristor is a switch on position, triggered position or fired position. Nothing but all at what degree fired alpha. At alpha degree, that the thyristor is fired or triggered. Therefore, at omega t, that is omega t is equal to alpha. V naught is equal to VL, which is equals to Vm sin omega t. V naught is equal to VL, that is output voltage, which is equal to load across the voltage Vm sin omega t, and omega t is equal to alpha to pi. And what about the output current? I naught is equal to IL V naught by R. Here, we during the interval of omega t is equal to alpha to pi only we are getting. Okay. Next, I naught is equal to IL. V naught, we know that V naught we substitute Vm sin omega t. V naught is equal to Vm sin omega t by R, which is equals to I suffix m sin omega t. I suffix Vm by R is nothing but Im. Okay, maximum current Im sin omega t alpha to pi. The interval is to be alpha to pi, where Im is equal to Vm by R, that is nothing but the maximum value of the load current. This is nothing but the maximum value of the load current. If you consider Im value here, this is the maximum value. Wherever the Vm is getting, that is also called as a Im value. These all consider under the half wave rectifier. single phase half wave thyristor converter, thyristor circuit with a R load. With a R load. And can you go for a derivation towards the average output voltage? Yes, we know that average output voltage is this much value 2 Vm by pi or 2 Vm by pi. Yes, how can you derive the expression for the average output voltage across the load means here V naught is equal to is a V naught output voltage is equals to DC average voltage 1 by 2 pi. That is, it is considered under full cycle 0 to 2 pi 1 by 2 pi at an interval of 0 to 2 pi of V naught of d of omega t. Here, this is the complete output voltage, but if you consider V naught is equal to Vm sin omega t for omega t is equal to alpha 2 pi. Nothing but the output voltage which we are getting is to be in between alpha to pi only. Therefore, therefore we consider only alpha to pi, the interval, the, the interval between alpha to pi only the average output voltage we are getting, sorry, output voltage we are getting across the load, that is V naught is equal to Vm sin omega t. So that's why, that's why uh, V naught is equal to Vm sin omega t or omega t is equal to alpha to pi. If you come across this when substitute, consider this is the complete full equation. V naught is equal to Vdc is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi V naught to d of omega t. Under 0 to 2 pi only alpha to pi only existing output voltage is getting. But what about the pi to 2 pi should be 0. It is not conducting. Therefore, negative half cycle goes going to the negative half cycle. The thyristor is not conducting. Therefore, we consider only alpha to pi interval only. Therefore, the average voltage across the voltage across the resistive load V naught is equal to Vm sin omega t. And V naught Vdc is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral alpha to pi Vm sin omega t d of omega t. Therefore, if you integrate with respect to sin omega t, Vm getting outside, therefore Vm by 2 pi integral sin omega t minus cos omega t. Therefore, it should be minus cos omega t of alpha to pi. Therefore, we are getting that minus cos pi plus cos alpha. Cos pi is equal to, we know that minus 1. Therefore, we are getting that 1 plus cos alpha. By substituting minus 1 into this equation, we are getting 1 plus cos alpha. V naught is equal to Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos alpha. And we know that Vm, that is V maximum is root 2 times Vs value. Root 2 times Vs value. V maximum. Root 2 Vrms. That is. Therefore, if you multiply it with root 2 Vs in the Vm equation, therefore, we are getting that maximum average DC output voltage is obtained when alpha is equal to 0 and the maximum DC output voltage is equal to nothing but this is the point here. When alpha is equal to 0, then only it should be getting maximum, that is Vm by 2 pi. Vm by 2 pi. Okay. Maximum average DC output voltage is obtained when alpha is equal to 0 and the maximum DC output voltage is equal to Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos 0. When you substitute alpha in place of 0, replace with it 0, therefore cos 0, 1. Therefore, we are getting that 1 plus 1, 2. 2 into Vm by 2 pi. 2 to cancel. Therefore, we are getting that Vd maximum at Vm by pi. Maximum average output voltage is obtained when alpha is equal to 0, that is equals to Vm by pi only. And this is the complete equation of single phase half wave rectifier. The average DC output voltage can be varied by varying the trigger angle alpha from 0 to 180 degrees, to maximum 180 degrees. Therefore, how can you plot the characteristics of this equation from the equation? These are nothing but the control characteristics of single phase half wave phase control rectifier with using our resistive load. The average DC output voltage is given by the expression is this much. V naught is equal to Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos alpha for a single phase half wave converter for R load. V naught is equal to Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos alpha. Yes, next one, we can obtain the control characteristics. We can obtain the control characteristics by plotting the expression for the DC output voltage as a function of triggering angle. How can you plot this load characteristics means? Here, if you observe the triggering angle alpha in degrees we considered, and this is the output voltage, and how much percentage we're getting. For 0 degree, V naught is equal to Vm by pi of 1 plus cos alpha. Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos alpha 2. Alpha is equal to 0 means we are getting that V maximum, that is V naught maximum is equal to Vm by pi. This Vm by pi is a VDM of 100%. It should be considered as a 100% value. Okay, that is the average output voltage. The average output voltage Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos alpha we considered, and if we substitute here, how the output voltage has been changing with respect to the triggering angle. If you consider 0 degree as Vm by pi of 1 plus cos alpha, therefore Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos alpha, when you substitute alpha at 0 degree, therefore we are getting that Vm by pi. Therefore, this is called as 100% of VDM, V maximum. And if you consider when you multiply with alpha is equal to 30 degree, therefore we are getting 0.933 Vm. 93.3% VDM. Next 60 degree 0.75, 75%. 90 degree 0.5, 120 0.25, 150 nothing but whenever the triggering angle has been increasing, what should happen? The maximum voltage can be reducing. Maximum voltage, the voltage output voltage across the resistor load is to be reducing. Therefore, after 180 degrees, it should be zero. Yes, at 180 degrees, if you multiply Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos 180 degrees, therefore it is completely zero. 1 minus 1, cos 180 minus 1. Therefore, 1 plus of minus 1, 1 minus 1, 0. The complete equation, the output voltage is to be getting a zero value. Under this condition, 180 degrees of triggering angle, the control rectifier of the off-wave converter is to be getting the output voltage is to be zero. How the control characteristics is to be drawn means, if you observe, this is the triggering angle. This is the triggering angle in degrees, triggering angle in degrees alpha, and the output voltage. If you draw these characteristics from 0 to 180 degrees has been considered, and VDM under 0 position, 0 degree, it should be maximum. Vm by pi, it should be maximum. Okay, under 0.6 VDM should be this much. Okay, under 60 degrees, under 120 degrees, under 180 degrees, whenever the triggering angle has been increasing means the voltage value across the load should be decreasing. The output voltage is to be decreasing. Normalizing the DC output voltage with respect to VDM, the normalized output voltage. This is nothing but a normalized output voltage which we considered in practical applications. That is Vn VDC by VDM, and we substitute VDC with respect to VDM. That is called a normal ratio of this one is called a normalized output voltage. Vn is equal to VDC by VDM. VDM is nothing but the maximum value. Therefore, Vm by pi. We substitute all these equations in numerator and denominator. We getting that Vn is equal to this much value. VDCN. This is called normalized output voltage. And next one is how to derive the expression for the RMS value of the output voltage. In previous we derived that output voltage is to be a DC output voltage. DC output voltage. If you how to derive the expression for RMS value of the output voltage of a single phase half wave control rectifier, here the RMS value of the output equation is to be V naught RMS is equal to 1 by 2 pi integral 0 to 2 pi V naught square d of omega t. This is the basic expression of the RMS value, RMS voltage. How can you derive this one of an output voltage? Here, output voltage V naught is considered. V naught is equal to Vm sin omega t. We know the expression. This is take considered for, during interval of alpha to pi. Therefore, V naught is equal to Vm sin omega t for omega t is equal to alpha to pi. Next one. Therefore, When you substitute here V naught is equal to Vm sin omega t and the interval time is to be 0 to pi, sorry, alpha to pi. Therefore, in place of 0 to pi, we using that alpha to pi, V naught Vm sin omega t, Vm sin omega t whole square. That is Vm square sin square omega t. Under root, this is under root. Next, by substituting, how much this is sine square theta? Sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 omega t, 2 theta by 2. Therefore, sine square omega t is equal to 1 minus cos 2 omega t by 2. We substitute here in the expression. Therefore, by substituting this expression and the denominator value has been bring towards the output side outside. Therefore, 1 by 2 pi, 1 by 2 into 2 pi, 4 pi. Vm is also bring outside of the integral. Vm square by 4 pi. Alpha to pi, integral of alpha to pi of 1 minus cos 2 omega t into d of omega t under root. Here, integral of 1 d of omega t minus integral alpha to pi cos 2 omega t separately integrating. We are getting that Vm by 2 of 1 pi omega t, t of omega t, the alpha to pi minus sine 2 omega t by 2 of alpha pi, of interval of alpha to pi. Therefore, we are getting that Vm by 2 of 1 by pi of pi minus alpha omega t in place of omega t, we substituting pi minus alpha minus sine 2 pi 2 omega t, so in 2 pi minus sine 2 alpha by 2, where sine 2 pi is 0, sine 360 is 0. Therefore, Vm by 2 1 by pi of pi minus alpha plus sine 2 alpha by 2, and Vrms is equal to Vm by 2 root pi of pi minus alpha plus sine 2 alpha by 2 under root. This is the complete expression of RMS value. This is the complete expression for the RMS value. That is Vm by 2 root pi of pi minus alpha plus sine 2 alpha by 2. This is for the RMS value of expression, and this is for the DC output voltage Vm by 2 pi of 1 plus cos alpha. This is the complete single phase half wave controlled AC to DC rectifier or AC to DC converter using R load. Next, on the next class, we derive the problem. We solve the problems on this single phase half controlled rectifier. Thank you.